Hey, welcome to another edition of Farmers Voices with Uncle Ramish and myself, Josh Scribe. Go ahead, Uncle Ramish.
Okay, thank you again, Josh Scribe. Welcome. Good day to each and everyone who is listening. In the Caribbean and around the world. In Trinidad and Tobago, we want to say, thank God again for letting us be number one in the world with respect to our mitigation measures. I want to thank, our leaders, Dr. Parashram, our honorable Prime Minister and his team, the medical teams, all the farmers, fisher folks in the country, and all the professionals, non-professionals, everyone. We want to thank them for continuing the resilience, to continuing to be strict, cautious, wear those masks, high hygienic standards, and to continue, using our best local fruits and vegetables in the fight against COVID-19, Josh, right? So I want to welcome everyone.
Yes. Let's welcome everybody that's listening around the world to the Farmers Voices. How's the farming situation in Trinidad?
Very good. A few weeks ago, there was complaints with respect to, lack of water. So the water is here right now in the right amounts. The soils hasn't been saturated as yet. The rivers are flowing, but they are draining and the earth is accepting the several months of dehydration. So it will take a lot of water to soak the earth. But in the meantime, the crops are growing, the weeds are growing, and our fruits and vegetables are prospering, our root crops and our livestock are very heavy, so our farmers, we are accustomed doing what we are accustomed doing, planting for our families and for our communities and for the world, just right?
Yes. So with this rainfall and supply will be able to keep up with demand?
Absolutely. In fact, we might be a bit oversupplied in certain items because of the weather condition and the second half of the year is basically the rainy season, and that's the time where farmers plant much more. And with COVID in the last 100 days, everyone took to planting. Every household, took to planting. So COVID gave us a wake-up call. But as to how long it will continue, that with all time will tell. All right, Josh, right?
Yes. So with the excess, what is going to be done with the excess from the abundance that you guys are having?
All right, so we have restrictions on the borders. All right, we have restrictions. So maybe exports into other Caribbean countries might be a challenge, but in our country, with the extra production, what is going to happen is that families who plant, there will be a lot of bartering taking place. Also, when a family plants short crops and they have extra, they would sell it, put it by the road, You would see it in front of their houses, you'll be seeing tomatoes, you'll be seeing ground provisions, on a much more regular basis. So with the extra supply, people will be selling it and it will be reaching out there, all right? So the bartering system will continue with some, but the excess will be sold and our population will take it because of some of the trade restrictions and the importation, etc.
Okay, excellent. And how are the members doing?
Well, most of the farmers that we are in contact with in Southeast Trinidad, okay, everybody is busy in their farms and whatnot, right? But more so, I'll touch a little bit later on the agro processing. But in our earlier conversation, you mentioned a situation in Jamaica, our Caribbean brothers and sisters. In Jamaica, you mentioned that with the overproduction, all right, and it was able, the demand within the local fraternity, it increased, so it was able to to take in that extra, output. So that is excellent news. That's right.
Yes, yes, yes. What I, here coming out of Jamaica is that the price of goods, has went up because of COVID and because the hotels haven't been, having tourists to buy up the local goods like they normally do, and wasn't able to send them abroad, so the price went up. Which is bad for those who can't afford to purchase, crops, because of economic reasons.
Yes, so coming back to our local production, I want to stay specific with the table and pineapple farmers association group that I lead, all right? And in the last 10, 20 years, we have been discussing, the future of fruit, okay? So we have an opportunity here right now with respect to the agro-processing shell that is available for us to add value to our products that we produce. We have some very good watermelon farmers in southeast Trinidad, from the Kernahan village in Mayaro, Manzilana, come down to the Mayaro area itself, Lasavan, in Mayaro, there's a Lasavan in Guayari, people produce segments of watermelons and cantaloupes and well, those other fruits, all right? Also in Moruga, we have a farming, an industrial farming area, all right, with, over, I think it is about nearly 1,000 acres.
Oh, wow.
All right. They do a lot of watermelon and pawpaw and other fruits and vegetables. So we have been networking, but just like one of the challenges that continue to haunt us and the private sector and maybe COVID, will be able to, we might be able to overcome that because of the thinking that the COVID brought our way. Farmers will produce more. But as you mentioned with respect to the oversupply, so this is where those factory shells come into play. All right. So I just want to, extend my thought a bit beyond fruit production. There are 5 shells available in that agro processing. It's an investment that it is between $80 to $100 million that was made by this present government in the last 5 years. All right. And it is there for farmers, but the thinking of farmers have to think out of the box. That's right. They must think out of the box because of the fact that the middlemen have been supporting local production over the decades, but they have capitalized and they were able to make more profits than basically some of the average farmers. So this agro-processing facility, these shells are available for farmers to add value to their produce. So like I mentioned before, the farmer is producing his goods. These goods can be contracted to these shells, the different components, all right? So let me just reiterate the 5 components. One is basically fruits, all right? There's a separate cocoa component, that's 2. 3, there's one a mixture of vegetables and root crops, all right? And 4, it's basically for livestock, and you have another segment for the fisheries sector. Okay, so it can be broken down, basically covers all aspects of agricultural production in South Trinidad. All right, Jascribe, so it's an opportunity for every farmer in every segment in South Trinidad to capitalize. So you enter a contract with these groups that they will form in the various sectors. Here it is, you will be given a guaranteed price for your goods. Also, arrangements can be put in place for you to share in the products that are sold from those shells. So you benefit at the end. You benefit at the beginning, you benefit at the end where you add value to the products. Jascribe, are you understanding what is happening?
Yes, definitely. So it's more like a cooperative type of agreement.
Excellent. But we need to bridge, the cooperative is an old adage, for 50 years now, so we may have to, bridge that gap between a cooperative, a company, a limited liability segment, a partnership. We're going to bridge all of those together. All right?
Okay.
So I don't want to reveal too much, but the Table and Pineapple Farmers Association is one of the only groups in South Trinidad right now who has a document ready on the desk for the Honorable Prime Minister to consider with the investment in agro-processing and for the TPFA accessing one of those shells.
Oh,
That's
wow.
right. I'll reveal that in the next coming weeks.
Excellent, excellent. Any plans to expand it to other parts of the island too?
Well, first we need to get into that agro-processing shell in South.
Oh, okay,
And,
okay.
a lot will depend on the next few days and the next few weeks because Touchstone International, their local partners, Primera Oil and Gas, they have not been talking to us. And sooner than later, they will be coming to talk to us because those flow lines that they want to extract the gas, that will be using a main access, a bridging point between the fields around Coho 1 well and the agro-processing facility, which is just about 10 to 15 minutes away. So Primera Oil will be coming to meet with us, the Commissioner of State Land, the EMA, and other agencies, because Primera Oil has not yet gotten a conservator's license to touch one branch or tree in that forest to run that flow line. So they will be coming next around the table very soon, Jasper.
Oh, wow. Excellent, excellent. Shame on them for doing that.
Well, I want to extend the conversation and let everyone know, that with respect to our post-COVID plans that was put in place 100 days ago, the Honorable Prime Minister will be addressing us soon. Okay, and he will be dealing with, a very, very, we are at that stage now where the beaches and the bars and all the basketball courts and some of the sporting events will be opened up, all right?
Oh, okay, excellent.
Will be closed for some time again. But what we need to do we need to keep monitoring, whether whether the testing has proven to be correct and the normalcy. Even though we know of the new normal, it will be tested in the next few weeks with respect to the opening up of the entire economy, except in the borders. That's right.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Hopefully everything, is good and you guys can remain number one and get back to business. That's what we're trying to do here. I think Monday starts our phase 2 of opening up in New York, so everybody's trying to get back to normal.
Well, we are looking on, Jascribe. We looked at Florida. I understand Florida, they open up certain segments and they have to go back on lockdown. Is that correct?
Yes. Florida's not doing so good.
Right, and even close to us here, at one time, Brazil has a similar climate to ours, all right, even though they are lower down the equator. But they just crossed 1 million cases, and that is serious, Jascribe. I mean, we have a lot of traveling coming, people coming with boats and a lot of containers coming into the country, even though we lock down our borders, we don't know who might be entering. And if that virus comes again, we could be we could be caught with our guards down, Jascribe.
Yeah, definitely. It's a very bad case, but I have to blame the government of Brazil. They never took this thing seriously and still not taking this thing seriously.
Yes. So we must continue the conversation to encourage each other, whether you're number one or you're 99. At the end of the day, the World Health Organization made a revelation that the COVID pandemic will be with us for some time, just right?
Yes. Sometimes indeed. Yeah, this will be around until we can find a cure for this dreaded virus, but like the WHO states, the World Health Organization, it's up to everybody to work in unity to try to beat this beast.
Yes, just right. So I want to move on a bit. Yes, the Prime Minister is going to address the nation. We in Trinidad and Tobago have to be very